Order. Honorable members, Article 152 of the Constitution, order. Article 152 of the Constitution provides that the provisions of Article 145 of the Constitution shall apply with the necessary modifications the removal from office by impeachment of the Deputy President. In particular, Article 145(1) of the Constitution provides that a member of the National Assembly supported by at least 1/3 of all the members may move a motion for impeachment of the President on the grounds of gross violation of a provision of the Constitution or any law where there are serious reasons for believing that the President has committed a crime under national or international law or for gross misconduct. Procedurally, Standing Order 64(1) provides that before giving notice of a motion under Article 150 of the Constitution, a member shall deliver to the clerk a copy of the proposed motion in writing, stating the grounds and particulars in terms of Article 145(1) of the Constitution upon which the proposed motion is made, signed by the member and signed in support by at least 1/3 of all the members of the House. Further, honorable members, Standing Order 64(1)A lays out the criteria for admissibility of grounds for removal from state office. For clarity, Standing Order 64(1)A states, and I quote, "The grounds specified in a motion under this standing order shall be admissible if A, framed clearly to particularize and disclose a gross violation of the Constitution or other written law, where gross violation of the Constitution or other written law is indicated as a ground for the intended removal. B, stating with precision the provisions of the Constitution or other written law that are alleged to have been grossly violated, where gross violation of the Constitution or other written law is indicated as a ground for the intended removal. And C, accompanied by necessary evidence, including annexures or sworn testimonies in respect of the allegations. The foregoing procedural and legal requirements for the processing special motions are buttressed by precedents and jurisprudence in various speakers' rulings and court decisions. Honorable members, today, I refrain from restating the jurisprudence and focus on determining the admissibility of the notice of the proposed special motion filed by the member for Kibwezi West. In determining the admissibility of the special motion, I'm required to examine its form, threshold, framing of the grounds, and attachment of the necessary evidence. Standing Order 64(1) provides for the criteria for determining whether the proposed motion meets the requirements of the Constitution and the standing orders as to form and the threshold. On form, it should A, be in writing, B, state the grounds and particulars in terms of Articles 151B of the Constitution upon which the proposed motion is made, and C, be signed by the member, and D, be signed in support by at least 1/3 of all the members of the Assembly. Having examined the notice of the special motion by the member for Kibwezi West, I find that the special motion meets the requirements relating to form and threshold set out in the Articles 145(1) and 151B of the Constitution and Standing Order 64(1). I have also satisfied myself that the number of members who have appended their signatures in support of the special motion exceed the minimum threshold of 117 members in this House. Honorable members, with regard to admissibility of the grounds set out in the special motion, I am guided by Standing Order 64(1)A, which provides that the grounds specified in a special motion shall be admissible if A, framed clearly to particularize and disclose a gross violation of the Constitution or other written law, where gross violation of the Constitution or other written law is indicated as a ground for the intended removal. B, stating with precision the provisions of the Constitution or other written law that are alleged to have been grossly violated where gross violation of the Constitution or other written law is indicated as a ground for the intended removal, and C, accompanied by necessary evidence, including annexures or sworn testimonies in respect of the allegations. Honorable members, having examined the proposed special motion, I note that in keeping with the requirements of Article 151B of the Constitution and Standing Order 64(1)A, the member has stated 11 grounds for removal from office by impeachment of His Excellency the Deputy President. In addition, I do note that the special motion as submitted to my office also contains the particulars upon which the member seeks to move the House to consider the special motion. Honorable members, with respect to evidence, the member has attached documents including annexures and a sworn affidavit to substantiate the grounds stated in the special motion. Consequently, honorable members, I find that the proposed special motion by the Honorable Ekomas Mwengi Mutuse MP meets the requirements of Articles 145(1) and 151B of the Constitution and Standing Order 64 and 65 with regard to form, threshold, and grounds necessary for a member to move a special motion for the proposed removal from office by impeachment of the Deputy President. Honorable members, having determined that the special motion is admissible, let me now focus on the next steps of giving notice of the special motion to the House. Standing Order 47(4)A provides that with respect to a motion for removal of a person from office, a member shall give notice of motion in the House within 3 sitting days following approval by the Speaker. In the circumstances, therefore, the member for Kibwezi West ought to give notice of his special motion either today or tomorrow. Given the nature of the timelines applicable to this special motion, I will, at order number 6, that is notices of motion, accord an opportunity to the member for Kibwezi West to give the notice of the special motion. Thereafter, I'll give further guidance to the House on the next steps to take. The House is accordingly guided. I thank you. Honorable Gladys Boss, are you ready? We'll go back to order number 5 for the Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 26 September 2024. Report of the Kenyan delegation to the 64th session of the OACPS Parliamentary Assembly and the first session of Luanda, Angola from the 17th to the 21st of February 2024. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Order. Order, honorable members. Order. Member for Budalangi. Order. Take your seats. Order. Member for Navajo, take your seats. Order, honorable members, order. Order number 6, Honorable Sholay.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That this House notes the report of the Kenyan delegation to the 64th session of the OACPS Parliamentary Assembly and the first session of the OACPS EU Joint Parliamentary Assembly held in Luanda, Angola from the 17th to the 21st of February 2024, laid on the table of this House on Thursday, 26 September 2024. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Mutuse. Honorable Mutusa, I'll allow you to speak from the dispatch box, and he will be heard in silence.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to move this motion from this table. Mr. Speaker, this is an historical moment, and therefore, with your permission and honorable members, Mr. Speaker, allow me to proceed to give notice of the following motion. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, I beg to give notice of the following special motion as follows. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Article 150, Sub-Article 1B and Sub-Article 2 of the same, read together with Article 145 of the Constitution of Kenya that we passed in 2010, and as read together with our standing orders number 64 and 65 of the standing orders of the National Assembly, the Assembly of the Republic of Kenya. This Honorable House resolves to remove from office, by way of impeachment, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, EGH, the current Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, this special motion was lodged with the Clerk of the National Assembly on the 27th September 2024, and contains 11 grounds for impeachment. Mr. Speaker, in compliance with the law, as stated earlier, the grounds are concise, precise, are particularized in the motion, and this is a motion, and are supported by cogent, convincing, persuasive, evidentiary material in the nature of documents, affidavits, and electronic evidence. Mr. Speaker, I will also be presenting live witnesses, viva voce evidence, who will testify to corroborate the evidence that we have adduced in support of the grounds of impeachment. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in the interest of the time allocated, I am not able to go clause by clause, sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph, because as you notice, the grounds themselves constitute about 42 pages, and with the rest of the material, we have about nearly 100 pages. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, with your guidance, allow me to summarize the 11 grounds as follows. Generally, Mr. Speaker, as members will realize, the particulars of these grounds are that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has engaged himself in acts of omission and commission that constitute offenses under our Constitution, offenses under international law, and offenses under our own statutes. On ground one, Mr. Speaker, we will be demonstrating before this House that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has grossly violated Articles 10(2)(1)(a), 10(2)(b) and C, Articles 27(4), Article 73(1)(a) and 2(b), Article 75(1)(c), and Article 129, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution of Kenya, as well as Articles 147(1), as read with Article 131(2)(c) and D of the Constitution of Kenya. And when the time comes, Mr. Speaker, I will be laying detail, article by article, to show the violations. On ground number two, Mr. Speaker and honorable members, at the opportune time, I will demonstrate to Kenyans that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has violated Article 147(1) of the Constitution and Article 152(1) of the Constitution of Kenya, the most progressive constitution in Africa. Mr. Speaker, on ground 3, I will be demonstrating before this House to Kenyans and to the international community that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has violated Article 6(2) of the Constitution, Article 10(2)(a) of the Constitution, Article 174 of the Constitution, Article 186(1) of the Constitution, Article 189(1) of the Constitution, as well as the 4th schedule of the Constitution of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, this is the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. It is not a mere document. It speaks to the soul of this nation. Under ground 4, Mr. Speaker, I will demonstrate that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has violated Article 161 of the Constitution of Kenya. I will further demonstrate under ground 5 that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, the Deputy President, the current Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, has grossly violated Article 3(1) as read together with Article 148(5)(a) of the Constitution. Under ground 6, Mr. Speaker and honorable members, I will demonstrate that the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua has committed crimes under Section 13(1)(a) and 62 of the National Cohesion and Integration Act, the act that speaks to our nationhood, the act that speaks to our multi-ethnicity, the act that speaks to our society remaining together as a cohesive society. And I will demonstrate with videos, I will demonstrate with affidavits, I will demonstrate with documents that the man holding the office of the Deputy President has violated the same law that he swore to protect in his own oath of office. Under ground 7, Mr. Speaker, I will demonstrate before this House that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has committed crimes under Sections 45(1), Section 46, Section 47(a)(3), Section 48(1) of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act. Anti-Corruption, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, by using his office to unjustly enrich himself, by using his office to acquire within 2 months properties well beyond 55.2 billion. And Mr. Speaker, I will demonstrate before this House that during the presidential debate, if I may be listened to, Mr. Speaker, that during the presidential debate, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua did declare that he was worth 800 million. We are aware that he's paid slightly over 1 billion, meaning that for the last 2 years, the much he could have accumulated justly is about 24 million. But I will demonstrate before Kenyans that he has properties to himself, the ones that I was able to get in my time of research, worth 5.2 billion Kenya shillings. This is what we call unexplained assets, and we must slay the dragon of corruption from the highest office. Mr. Speaker, under the same ground, I will also be demonstrating, this is ground number 7, that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has violated Sections 2, 3, 4, and 7 of the Proceeds of Crime and Money Laundering Act. Mr. Speaker, you are aware that the Proceeds of Crime and Money Laundering Act is one of those laws pursuant to Section 2 of the Constitution of Kenya that we domesticated because of our international obligations about money laundering. And therefore, by proving the same, I will also be demonstrating before Kenyans that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has committed international crimes. Under ground 8, Mr. Speaker, I will demonstrate that the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has committed crimes under Section 132 of the Penal Code and Section 29 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. And honorable members will realize that the Leadership and Integrity Act is the law that was enacted by this parliament, none other than this parliament, to give effect to Chapter 6 on leadership and integrity of the Constitution. Under ground 9, I will be able to show, and Mr. Speaker, when we get to this ground, the ground of gross misconduct, I will be able to speak to the House in a very clear manner as to what constitutes gross misconduct as interpreted by our own courts. And I'll be able to show that the person of the Deputy President is a bully. The person of the Deputy President has been threatening public officials. The person of the Deputy President has carried himself in a manner that brings disrespect to the office that he holds and therefore has grossly misconducted himself. Under ground 10, Mr. Speaker, I will also specifically demonstrate that the person of the Deputy President has committed the offense of gross misconduct in the manner of insubordinating the presidency and the Kenyan state. The Kenyan state is our soul. And if you insubordinate the state, you are not worth being a state officer. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, under ground 11, with your permission, when the time comes, I will also demonstrate, honorable members, if we may be listened to, I will also demonstrate that specifically the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua has committed crimes of gross misconduct, as I had earlier alluded to, in terms of bullying and threatening public officers. Mr. Speaker, in compliance with the provisions of Articles 145(1) of the Constitution, as read together with the National Assembly Standing Order number 65, honorable members, if you may listen, this is important. A total, Mr. Speaker, a total of 291 members of this National Assembly have graciously appended their signatures in support of this motion. 291 members. Mr. Speaker, it will be remembered, Mr. Speaker, it will be remembered that at this stage of moving the motion, the requirement of the law is that the motion should be supported by 1/3, translating to about 117 members. However, Mr. Speaker, we have 291. I therefore wish to thank my colleague members of Parliament for supporting this motion to over 83%, way beyond the required threshold of 2/3, which is 67%, that is required at the next stage of voting for this motion. So, Mr. Speaker, there are times when we used to say this is an open and shut case. Mr. Speaker, sir, as a requirement of our standing orders, please allow me to read the names of the members who have signed in support of this motion.
Order.
Mr. Speaker,
Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, for purposes of completeness of the record, the standing orders require that the mover of the motion does read all the names of the members who are in support of the motion for openness. And I therefore read the name of the patriots, borrowing from Senior Peter Kaluma. Mr. Speaker, I began with myself. The Honorable Ekomas Mwengi Mutuse, yours truly. The Honorable Owen Baya. The Honorable Japheth Nyakundi. Matthias Robi. Kimani Ishungwa. Member for Kikuyu and Majority Leader. Abdul Rahim Daoud. Patrick Munene Dwiga. Eric Wamombi, the member for Madeira. George Kariuki. Kili Daniel Karido. Dorothy Mudhoni Ikiara. Mwangi Kiunjuri. Boro Ambore. Elizabeth Kairemia. Edwin Mugo Gishoke. Rindikiri Mugambi. Jane Kagiri. Anne Murada. John Paul Murigi. Gikaria David. John Kirago. Mary Mainge. Alice Nganga. Wambugo Wainaina. Mashua Waidaka. Kuria Kimani. George Kitonga Murugara. Simon Nganga Kingara. John Kiaria Wainaina. Shadrach Mwiti. Honorable Joseph Wainaina, nominated. Betty Maina. Geoffrey Kiringa Waroko. Roko. Gigi Kagombe. Julius Taitumu. Duncan Maina Madenge. Kwenya Dhoko. John Juguna Wanjiko. John Kanyuithia Mutunga. Honorable Junet Mohamed, the leader of minority. Honorable Mohamed Abdikadir. Honorable Yakub Ado. Honorable Richard Ken Chonga. Honorable Ali Wario. Honorable Ruwaida Obo. Honorable Hamisi Chome Abdi. Abdikadir Mohamed. Zamzam Mohamed. Rashid Benzimba. Said Buya. Peter Shake. Peter Masara. Mishi Juma Mboko. Joyce Osogo Bensuda. Fatuma Masito. Mohamed Machele. Aduma Owor. Jerusha Momanyi. Honorable Dr. Professor Gogo Lilian. Millie Odhiambo, the one and only. Honorable Irene Mayaka, my sister. Honorable Dick Maungu. Honorable Joshua Oron. Honorable Walter Owino. Honorable Patrick Osero. Honorable Molfason Barongo. Mark Ogola Nyamita. Tom Ondege. Gisairo Ombane. Oku Kaunya. Rosa Mbuyu. Charles Were. Fatuma Mohamed. Paul Abuor. Badu Twalib. Dr. Charles Ochieng. Caleb Amisi Luyai. Elisha Odhiambo. Farah Maalim. Elijah Memusi Kanchori. Kakuta Maimai Hamisi. Aden Daud Mohamed. Honorable Wanjala. Honorable Peter Orero. Honorable Martin Peters Owino. Honorable George Peter Kaluma. Honorable TJ Kajuang. Chiforomondo Mwangale. Honorable Donya Doris. Stephen Mogaka. Felix Odiwar. Geoffrey Odanga. Honorable Tim Wanyonyi. Honorable Christine Ombaka. Honorable Hussein Weitan. Honorable George Aladwa. Joseph Oyula. John Bwire. Omar Mwinyi. Catherine Omanyo. Danson Mwashako of Wiper Party. Innocent Mugabe. Charles Nguna, Mwingi West of Wiper Party. Honorable Elsie Muhanda. Honorable J.L. Sunguli of Kilgoris. Honorable Udgun Siad. Honorable Dr. John Ariko. Honorable Tindi Mwale. Otiende Amolo Senior Counsel. Mr. Speaker, the House takes notice that Honorable Otiende Amolo is one of the makers of the Constitution that we are implementing. Honorable Christopher Aseka. Honorable Paul Ekwon Nabuin. Honorable Nicholas Gikor of Turkana East. Honorable Yusuf Mohammed. Honorable Abdikadir Hussein Mohammed. James Koyo. Sarah Paulata Korere. Honorable Umker Arun Mohammed. Honorable John Nikal.
James.
Yes, my sincere apologies. For the correctness of the record, this is Honorable Dr. Professor James Nikal, the member for Seme. Honorable Daniel Manduku. Honorable Mohamed Ado. Honorable Wario Guyo. Honorable Paul Katana. Maurice Kakai Bissau. Emmanuel Wangwe, Bernard Shinyali, my friend Nabi Nabwera, Patrick Makau Kingola of the Wiper Party, Mavoko constituency, and Commissioner of the Public Parliamentary Service Commission, very able, voted by members of this House. I thank you in a special way, my senior brother. Honorable Shakil Shabil Hamed, Honorable Aden Kainan, Honorable Dr. Aden Kainan, Honorable Fatuma Jeno, Jeho, Honorable Amina Munyazi Laura, Honorable Gertrude Mbeyo, Honorable Adipo Akwome. Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, I can have a sip of my water.
Go ahead.
Number 134. Number 134, Abdi Omar Shurie, the chairman of the Committee of this House on Public Debt. Honorable Tom Oluoch, the member for Dagoretti Beatrice Elachi. Honorable Samuel Arama, Honorable Guyo Jaldesa, Professor. Honorable Anton Kibagedi, my brother. Honorable Samuel Atandi, my brother. Honorable Ruth Busia. Honorable Ruth Odinga Busia, the women rep for Kisumu County. Honorable Eve Obara. Honorable Johnson Manya Naika of Mumias East. Kipyegon Joanna, Omboko Milemba, Marwa Maisori, Moses Kirima, Lydia Aiga Mizigi, Adan Aji Yusuf, Mumina Bonaya, Charles Gimose, Mohamed Tubi, Zahir Janda, Clemens Lawyer, Zuleka Hulbal Arun, Lekumontare Jackson, member for Samburu East. Anton Kenga Mpe, ukimwona Mpe. Bashir Abdullahi, Didmas Barasa, Malulu Injendi, Geoffrey Mulanya, Frederick Ikana. Mr. Speaker, for completeness of the record, there are names that I have cancelled and I have signed against the cancellation. Honorable Titus Amala, Joseph Dena, Honorable Kivai Kagesi, Honorable Vincent Musyoka, aka Kawaya, member for Mwala, Honorable Fabian Muli, Honorable Caleb Mule, Honorable Joshua Mwalio, Honorable Dr. Recho Nyamai Kaki, Honorable Nimrod Mbai, aka KPLC, Honorable Dido Raso, Honorable Lekuton of Laisamis, Honorable Chief Whip Silvanos Osoro, Honorable Abdisarat K. Ali, Honorable Abdul Haro, Honorable Mary Emase, Irene Joki, Nebat Muriuki, George Gachagua, Stephen Karani, Gidhua wa Masukuru, Rahabu Mukami Washira, Joroge Wainaina, Elijah Njoroge Kururia, Epuyu Nanok Daniel, Mudhoni Marubu Monica, Kenneth Tungulu, Mudhama Stanley, Joseph Emanthe Namur, Faith Gitau, Cecilia Asieni Ngitit, Pamela Njoki Njeru, Robert Basil, the member for Yatta and Wiper Party. Protas Akuja. Kasim Sawa Tandaza. Pauline Lengimis. Honorable Dr. Robert Pukose. Honorable George Sunguia. Honorable Joash Nyamoko. Kitlai Olentutu. Lea Sankaire. Lemankon Aramat. Agnes Pareño. Gabriel Tongoyo. Rebecca Tongei. Catherine Wambilinya. John Makali of Kandui. John Chikati. Susan of Tharaka Nithi, the women rep for Tharaka Nithi County. Mburu Kahangara. Geoffrey Wandeto. Ronald Karauri. Jackson Koech. Jackson Kosgei of Baringo. Adams Kipsanai. Kagogo Bowen. Jematia Sergon. William Kamket. Catherine Ngalechei. Ruben Kiborek. Kimaiyo Gideon. Musa Sirma. Joseph Kipkarus. Joshua Kandie. Charles Kamuren. John Waluke. Richard Yegon. Richard Kilel. Brighton Yegon. Francis Sigei. Kipngetich Koech. Lynette Chepkoril Toto. Justice Kemei. Nelson Koech. Beatrice Kemei. Joseph Cherorot. Kibet Komugoi. Hilary Kosigei. Benjamin Langat. Mutai Alfred Kiprono. Liza Chelule. Joseph Tonui. Paul Chebor. Fred Kapondi. Lilian Sioi. Naomi Jilo Wako. Faisal Abdi Bader. Alpha Miruka of Bamachoke Charge. Deko Baro. Innocent Obiri. Ogola Gideon. Honorable Sabina Chege, the party leader of the Jubilee Party. Peter Lochakamping of Sigor. Samuel Chemulel. Rael Kasiwai. David Kosing. Titus Lote. Joseph Samal Womwa. Honorable, the handwriting is sometimes difficult, right? The member for Samburu North.
Eli.
The Honorable
Letipila Eli.
Lelitila Lady of Samburu North. The Honorable Kareke Mbiuki. The Honorable Martin Pepela. Wanami Wamboka. David Ochieng. Ferdinand Kevin Wanyonyi. Gladys Boss Chepkosgei Sholei, the women rep for Sinigishu and my former teacher. Paul Kibchil Biego. Marianne Kitani. Samuel Kiprono Chepkonga. Janet Sitienei. Muge Chepkosgei Cynthia. Joses Kosgei Lelmengit. David Kiplagat. Julius Kipibiwot. Julius K. Ruto. Bernard Kitur. Phyllis Barto, Professor. Oscar K. Sudi. Engineer Oscar Sudi. Dan Wanyama. Honorable Dr. Adagala Beatrice. Amina Dika. Abdi Ali Abdi. Hussein Abdi Bare. Gonzi Rai. Ibrahim Abdi Sanei. Honorable Ker Kasim. Honorable Sala Farah. Karoli Omondi. Robert Gishimu. Michael Mushira. Jared Okello. Jared Okello is my last name, making a total of 291 members. Mr. Speaker.
Yes, wind up.
Honorable members, as we wind up, as I alluded earlier, I presented to the Clerk of the National Assembly, and this afternoon, I'm laying on the table of the House the following documents. Number one, the special motion dated 26th of September 2024 and received by the clerk on the 27th of September 2024, and I have it in my hands and I'll be laying it shortly. Number two, with this special motion, Mr. Speaker, I am also laying before the table of the House the list of 291 members of the National Assembly who signed in support of the motion. Mr. Speaker, number three, I will also be laying the bundle of evidence in support of the grounds in the motion. And number four, I will be laying the list of witnesses all contained in this bundle. Mr. Speaker, Kenyans will be shocked. Indeed, Kenyans will be very shocked when we finally unravel and demonstrate the grounds and the supporting evidence. I therefore, through you, Mr. Speaker, humbly request the House Business Committee to allocate me ample time at the time of moving the motion so that Kenyans can appreciate in detail the injustices that have been committed against them by the person of the Deputy President. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I beg to give notice of the special motion and to lay the said documents on the table of the House. And if you allow, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, please allow me to highlight the following.
Order.
Mr. Speaker, I am a Christian, and I often read the Bible. And the Holy Bible, in the book of Proverbs 29 verse 16, says as follows: when the wicked are in authority, sin flourishes. But the godly, and mark the godly in small g, will live to see their downfall. That is the Holy Book as contained in the book of Proverbs 29:16. Further, Mr. Speaker, in the book of Mark, chapter 9, verses 42 to 47, it says as follows, and I quote: If anyone causes one of these little things, honorable members, Kenyans, please listen carefully. If anyone causes any one of these little things, those who believe in me, to stumble, it would be better for them if a large millstone were hung around their neck and they were thrown into the sea. 43, if your hand causes you to stumble, cut it off. It is better for you to end a life maimed than with two hands to go into hell, where the fire never goes out. 45, and if your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off. It is better for you to end a life crippled than to have 2 feet and to be thrown into hell. And if your eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out. It is better for you to enter the kingdom of God with 1 eye than to have 2 eyes and be thrown into hell. Mr. Speaker, if Kenyans cannot get services because of Deputy President.Rigathi Gachagua, we'll be pleading, pluck him out from government. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it is my belief that these 2 quoted verses are also true to the Quran and to other holy books. Turning now to our own jurisprudence. Honorable members, because many of us are political practitioners, even those who are not lawyers, would remember that in nullifying...
Order, Mutuse, you are giving an motion, you are not debating the motion.
Yes, I'm finishing.
Yes.
I'm finishing. In nullifying the 2017 presidential elections, His Lordship, the Chief Justice Emeritus, the Honorable David Maraga, pronounced himself in the following words: the greatness of any nation lies in its fidelity to the Constitution and adherence to the rule of law, and above all, respect to God. And Mr. Speaker, it is this persuasion, Mr. Speaker, that has made me to bring this motion of impeachment against the person of the Deputy President, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua. For the record, and Kenyans, listen, I have no grudge, I have no malice, I have no ill will, I have no personal vendetta against His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua. I am just doing my duty as a citizen of the Republic of Kenya and executing my mandate as a member of this House as mandated under the Constitution to bring this motion. I will therefore, Mr. Speaker, with your permission, lay the documents before the House and beg to give notice of the motion. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Hand over the documents to the clerk. Yes, Ruku, what is it? Order, members. Ruku, what is it?
Honorable Speaker.
In relation to the motion?
Yes.
What is it?
Honorable Speaker, I rise to seek your clarification on the special motion for the removal of the Deputy President. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, 4 seats in the House are vacant following the resignation of the Honorable Obio Wadai and Honorable John Badi upon being appointed as Cabinet Secretaries. Further, as you are aware, the seat of Magarini constituency was declared vacant following a successful election petition.